Good evening. My name is Robert Wood. However, I do go by my middle name, which is Heath. If you know me real well, then you get to call me by my nickname, which is either Woody or Woodrow. But around here at the funeral home, they just call me Heather. But I'm enrolled as Robert Wood at NTCC. My current work and career is right here at the Forever Memories Funeral Services here in Sallisaw, Oklahoma. It was kind of a long path to ever get here. I was educated at Oklahoma State University. I did do other jobs. My situation is a little different. I had a hunting accident 15 years ago that did not completely sideline me, but it did leave me legally blind and disabled. So for a few years, I was trying to figure out what I could do as an occupation that would be something that I could be proud of. And one day I was driving down the road and I saw the sign that says "Coming Soon, Forever Memories Funeral Services." So they had been open for about a year, and then I hired on. So that's what I currently do. I have been here for it'll be in February, 7 years. My role here at the Forever Memories Funeral Services, it's actually pretty varied. This past year, however, I did become an apprentice. So I've been doing that since the summer, and I actually enjoy that. Now, I do have some limitations on a few of the things that we do, especially in the prep room. I have to go slower because of my eyesight. But I have sat here in this meeting room, our arrangement room, and I have met with families. A lot of times I'm observing our director do it, but I have actually conducted the meeting under his direction a few times. The overall role of what I do. When they hired me, yes, I was disabled. So top to bottom, it goes like this. I am a janitor. I am a maintenance man. I also officiate services. So when a family comes in here and maybe their loved one had gone to church, but the immediate family surrounding the deceased does not go to church, or maybe the deceased had not been in church in a while, they want a traditional funeral, but maybe they don't have a pastor. So a lot of times I will step in. Over the years, I have probably officiated somewhere between 30 and 40 services for families in our area. In addition to this, I do make removals. We do work in teams here at Forever Memories, so we always go in twos with a few rare exceptions along the way. So yes, a few times I have done them by myself, but usually we go in pairs. I've made several removals in 7 years' time. In addition to the removals and the officiating, I am an apprentice. I'm becoming more educated in the prep room every time that we have an embalming to do. I help conduct the services. So from anywhere from passing out the folders to seating the families, passing them by, open the caskets. There were a few times actually that a former director who had been in the U.S. Navy, when the military could not be here, I helped him fold the flag. And that was something that was kind of special to me because he did the folding, I held, but to be a part of that was something I always really liked. So helping to conduct the services, I do drive the flower van occasionally, the hearse. Really top to bottom, the only thing that I don't have a lot of experience in is the actual computer system. And that's been a weakness of mine my whole life. So this course studies that we're doing now at NTCC is a big struggle for me because of my lack of computer skills, plus the fact that with my eyesight, seeing things on the screen as a whole is a very big challenge for me. My favorite pastime, that's easy. It comes down to two things. Watching college football, which I do less of now for obvious reasons if there's any college football fans out there. But the one thing that I really probably get more enjoyment out of than anything else is deer hunting. That's what I had my accident in 15 years ago, but I still do it. Everything I do now is just a little slower. So my college roommate and I, we meet twice a year. We have 2 camps for almost a week each time, and I can't describe to you how much joy I get out of that. And I think the 5th thing is what is your most memorable funeral or death care related moment? There's a lot of things that pop in my mind, and I'm not going to tell you about any things that pop into my mind on removals. I think that's pretty well obvious why. But we did do a funeral one time for a local man who was, I'm 53. If he was a few years younger than me, this has been a few years ago. And he was a Western kind of guy, which I could definitely relate to that. And he had accidentally had a gunshot wound to his leg. And during the time of recovery, he formed a blood clot and passed. I officiated that service for him and his family. The one thing that really stands out to me about that service, he was buried at a rural cemetery not too far from his house. As we say in Oklahoma, as the crow flies, it was probably a mile to a mile and a half from where he actually lived. But when we got there, and those that were in attendance at his service outside of family were all the cowboy type, when we got to the cemetery, they had already unloaded their horses, and from the cemetery gate, they led horseback, and if I remember right, 4 horseback riders led the hearse all the way around the cemetery to where he was going to be buried. And if I remember right, there was one horse that did not have a rider, and that was his horse. And that always stood out to me as one of those things that, some people might not view it as traditional, but for his family and those that were close to him, it was a way that they could honor his life. And I happened to be a part of that, and I was very proud of it. So I hope that gives you a little bit of an idea of who I am and what my role is around here and the things I enjoy. Thank you.